Good morning, and we back, and we live.
As they used to say on Vine, we live, baby.
We live, baby.
What's up, family? This is the Get Your Time Back series, so turn your headphones up and let's get this studio some loving.
We got an amazing topic for you today, guys, and we hope you really take this in because this is something that is pretty serious, and there is a difference. Okay, when it comes to stuff. I know last time we talked about knowledge, which is definitely power, but there are pieces of knowledge, and pieces of knowledge that I think corresponds with it is education. I believe that education is very powerful. Just like knowledge, I believe it's very powerful. I can't get it. Yeah. So let's get after education today. Let's go.
Alrighty. So let's start talking about where education comes from, right? I think a lot of people think when you say get educated, they mean school. I think you have to practice education daily. I think school's a tool for you to learn how to stay educated. It teaches you good habits. So what I mean by that is like the same qualities that I learned in college, I now try to practice every single day in my life. Time structure. That's being educated on time management, money management, right? Those are different types of educations, right? When you look at your degree programs, right? Those are different types of educations to a certain degree, right? You're educated. A communications major, you're majorly educated in communications. You understand what I'm saying? So when you start thinking about like educational, people get it from their environment, right? Those are wherever you learn how to survive in the real world, right? Not your fantasy world. Everybody has their own fantasy world of what they want to do and what they're doing. But once you realize how and you get educated on how to survive, that's what you do and you repeat over and over and over and over. So that's the most important thing. The biggest thing that I can say is, look, if you're one of those people that are out here, and you're wanting to go catch you a bag, right? Get educated on how to get the bag. Secure the bag with your education, right? You have to know all the information. You gotta have, and if you don't know the information, you better have a guy that has the information for you that you trust, right? You got to build you a team, right? And that you got to be educated on team building. I learned that through sports, right? I always wanted to be like we played sports together, right? We both were the guy. Why? We both wanted the ball. We both wanted everything. But at the end of the day, it was whoever was open, right? Yeah. If I did my job to get open, if I got open the best and I was the first option, then I got the ball. Right? We were never butting heads because we were educated enough on the game to get ahead, and we just wanted to catch a dub. Right? We played basketball together, football, right? And we never conflicted on the field, right? And I would say we were both superb athletes. We played with a bunch of other superb athletes in the area. Chase being one of them, never conflicted, right? Now, if you're around anybody, you're going to conflict. But when it came to the sport, we had one mission. We were like-minded. And so I think being educated to that level and being goal-oriented will really push your ego aside, and it'll allow you to grow and expand. And I think that's why, a lot of people fail is because they don't get educated on how to put the right structures into their teams. If you think you can get successful by being a lone wolf, you're tripping. You can't do it.
Yeah. It's a hard process. So there are two types of education that I've researched, and it's you got formal and informal education. Okay, formal is your standard set. It's your learning goal. Formal can also be your institution setting, schools and tech schools, and also OJT, which is on the job training. So that's more of your formal type of education. Then you have your informal, which is your life experiences and your street cred. You know what I mean? That's where your informal education comes from.
Yeah.
So you're experiencing outside of the institution, and that informal, I think, you get more educated from your failures. You on the informal, you get more educated from your failures that occur because
I don't know what that word is. You gotta watch some of the episodes to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, stay tuned if you want to know what failure is. It's already talked about. But opening the mindset to experiences is that second part of informal education. So if you know that there are two types of educations, you take that into your daily life, you'll definitely see some big returns because you'll be able to enjoy the process and the failures of both.
Right. What do you think, just based off what you're saying, what do you think has been your most formal and informal influences in terms of education? If you don't mind sharing it.
My most informal influence on education was definitely moving. I would say, my experiences in college, but just recently, just moving down here to Dallas, Texas. That was it. Like I said, it's a roller coaster. But the beauty of it is, I love every second.
Yeah.
I love every second of it. I love when I fail.
I get that.
You know what I mean? I love when I'm up on money. I love when I'm down on money because I know that I'm doing this for me, and and it's just a whole learning curve for real.
Right.
So that informal, meeting people. I gotta get out. I'm meeting people. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of learning. And then when it comes to formal in the institution, college definitely helped that out because, like you said, time management. Like I couldn't disagree. I couldn't agree even more because that time management is crucial. When you learn that and they set you up for that through school, I feel like that was probably the most important thing that's going to be going.
That's awesome, bro. I relate to a lot of that. On my end, if I had to break it down, I would say on-the-job training when I played with the Baltimore Orioles. Yeah. Just being able to see how actual organizations laid out from top to bottom.
Yeah.
That's something that made me aspire to want to one day own my own business. And understanding the ins and outs. Everyone has a learning curve, and I would definitely put school as one of my top formal things. The biggest thing is implementing structure. If you implement structures to what you do, on a daily basis, you would be super successful. If you kind of walk around and you really don't know and you walk around uneducated, right, it feeds into ignotism, which we talked about on the last episode. You don't want to, when you aspire to do something, you have to constantly read and update yourself and create those structures. I used to always get mad because I couldn't sit down and read a book cover to cover, in 4 hours, which that's a goal of mine. I've implemented new structures to learn how to do that, but I read every day. I read about how to stay updated. I learn every day. Informal, I realized when I was like 19, 20, I had a situation where another young man, pulled a gun on me. And that grew me up really fast to say, what, if you keep going this way, bro, you're going to end up dead. Like I was a knucklehead when I was a kid. I was ready to fight at the drop of a hat. I couldn't express. I didn't know how to express. All I knew was like kind of...
What's up? You ready?
Yeah, well, all I knew was sport and competition. You challenge me, let's fight. What's up? I like boxing. I grew up a Dragon Ball Z fan. It was competition. Someone challenges you, we got to square up. That's what my influences were. But as I've grown up and I started reading more, I'm like, bro, that's not the way, because there are some people that have nothing to live for because their environment was totally different. And when you start getting that type of thought process, you really start respecting the lines of people, and you don't violate those lines because you end up on the wrong side of things. And that's why I say you got to be really weary of your own environment and other people's environments too. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. I don't know what you got going on, so I'm not gonna come at you disrespectfully. That makes no sense to me. That's not cool. You know, so you have to walk around being mindful. That's another level of education. Being mindful of others. Always say, hey, how are you doing today? Sometimes people will say hi to you just so you can ask them how they're doing so they can vent. Because they're really going through something. You get what I'm saying? So when you're going through, right, there's layers and layers and layers of education. When you stop being willing to learn, you become ignorant. You know, but you should always wake up wanting to learn. You know, and that's what I would tell that to a 4-year-old, and I would say that to a 100-year-old.
Yeah.
Right? Anywhere in between, a 1-year-old. You know, when it's my time to have kids, I'm going to sit there and nurture my kid with learning.
All day.
All day. Come here, let me show you. You're a king, you're a queen. This is how you do it. This is how you set something up. You know what I'm saying? If you're not planning to have something here that's here for 1,000 years, you're tripping. You're not educated on what your purpose is in life. I want someone in 1,000 years from now to find this video and say, you know what? I got it. Right?
Yeah. And taking it back to reading a book, man. You were right. I hated reading. When I tell you, I got so excited when I read the last book I read was Contagious. I read a book called Contagious. And I was so excited I read that whole book, because I did it for myself. Usually, you know, when you read books, you got to read books for a book report, class, stuff. But when you read a book for yourself, when you get to that point, you're like, oh man.
Look.
You feel invisible. So
right.
That's probably another piece of my form that
and the thing that I will say is this: I read 2 books when I played. 3 books when I played professional baseball, right? That changed my perspective on life. And that's when I started believing in reading. I read about Hank Aaron and what he had to go through, right? And I heard about how he moved and he took his time, and Hank was Hank, right? He was himself. No, despite what people said, you know, he was called lazy, a lot of different stuff, but he stayed true to himself. You know, and that's why he was the GOAT at baseball. One of them. There's a lot of GOATs. You know, everyone throws the term around loosely. I try not to, because I think there's only one greatest of all time, but at the end of the day, everyone's great in their own way. That's why there's a lot of greats. That's why I don't believe in the argument of like Kobe and LeBron. Right? Another book I read, in Michael. I read a book called Relentless by Tim S. Grover, who was Michael Jordan's trainer. And he talks about there's 3 types of people. You know, he talks about there being a cleaner, a cooler, and there's one more. I'm just drawing a blank. But and closer.
Closer, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And I don't want to give away the contents in there, but that alone made me start defining who I was.
Exactly.
Right. So that book made me go down and say, okay, what am I? One of these people? Oh, I'm not that person. I'm not this person. Oh, I'm this person. So then I started reading more into those people and what their mindset was. I started listening to their interviews. I started wanting to hear the content they were given. You know, and that was something to me. I was like, whoa, reading really does change your life. The 3rd book that I read was The Alchemist, right? And that's a book where the story behind it's a short read, bro. Maybe 250 pages or a little bit over. Or a little bit under. I'm not sure. I read this thing in like 2 days. Like on the bus in 2 days.
When you get in that zone.
Reading.
Don't get out of it. Don't get out.
Stay in it. Cancel everything. Don't go to work. Do whatever. Get that information.
Your phone and stuff. Your phone will buzz and stuff. You will distractions. Man, if you got time, you grind that book, because you're gonna catch something. It's life.
If your brain is sucking you down into your chair, and you feel like you're in the jaws of life in your seat when you're reading a book, stay there.
Stay in that zone.
Stay there.
I don't think any outside feeling can put you in that zone that a book has you.
I would say music, but it's music when you understand the contents of the music.
Okay.
Like, at least for me, I'm talking relative to Gerrion. You know, for me, when I sit down and I start really breaking down music, bro, it's still poetry. They just learn how to. It's evolving. You know, it went from Shakespeare, and now you got Drake. It's the same. It's still a playwright. Drake is giving you the contents of his life. In some aspects, Drake's gonna be known as one of the most revered authors. You know, he's gonna have his own content, just like probably like Shakespeare was. You know, that's my own ideology and theory. Is we won't know in our lifetime. We found out about Shakespeare as this huge great playwright, but at the point in time he was known as crazy. You know, he wasn't viewed as that. The man lived in, I believe it was him, died on his birthday.
When you think of the word crazy in that context,
bro,
what?
I'm America's crazy black uncle. And what I mean by that is crazy to me means intense. Like it's out of your mind and outlandish about some things. Guess what? I'm okay with being crazy sometimes. You want to know why? Because when I was told multiple times that I couldn't do certain things, and I went and I stayed crazy and I did those things. I was told, hey, we don't think you could hit at a high level. Okay. I was crazy enough to believe in myself. So if that's me going against the norm, I'm always going to go against the norm. I'm always crazy. I'm always ready for it. And I would tell you to do it too. Now, crazy doesn't mean you go out, the concept that I'm using is you go out and you start harming people. Right. You have to have, with your craziness and your madness, there has to be a method, right? And you have to be educated on your method. That's why reading is so big, why listening to music is so big, why creating is so big. Right.
Put aside time for creation.
Yep.
If you are that formal learner, if you really are formal learning, you have to put aside time for creation because you want to be right. You hate the fact that you're failing when you're more of a formal learner.
Bro, I'll be open with you right now on my thing. Here's my plan. This was last week. My plan last week. All checks. I got checks just everywhere. Right? January newsletter. Updating Team Snap. Hour. So this is my 5-hour day. Study marketing.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's something that I want to know more about. Yeah. Write a plan for an hour. Create for an hour. Design for an hour. That's my day. Then I go to work.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? That's why I wake up at 5:36 every morning. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? If I start working by 6, right? I'm chilling by 11. I don't have to be at work till 3 on Mondays, and then Thursday through Tuesday through Friday, I'm at work from 5 to 10. I have more than enough time. I even have a couple hours in there just to chill. You see what I'm saying? It takes some time, and people are always, that's what I said, people say, oh, you're so busy, you got so much going on. Bro, a lot of that's not work. Oh, you're crazy. A lot of that's not work. This is me being me. Those are my habits. You want me to change my habits? What do you want me to do?
You educating yourself. That's you putting a structure to your education.
Every day. I'm going to school every day. I'm going to Gerrion school every single day. You know, and that's why I like so much more about when you started Juice. Juice has evolved. Right? Because guess what? You have to have the juice and the sauce in everything that you do. And that's what people don't understand yet. What's the juice? Explain what the juice is.
Man, juice is your confidence. Juice is your confidence. My quote is, you perfect your craft, you find your juice. Okay? You perfect your craft. So, what's your craft? Craft is your education. Mm-hmm. Your education is what you're perfecting. When you perfect a structure of putting your education in your everyday life, you got your juice. You got your confidence. At that point, you can speak on what you know. You know what I'm saying? With confidence because you're educated on it.
Right.
So that.
And guess what? You say juice, I call it. You got this crazy mad energy, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like my energy levels are sick. You can feel it when I speak. You know, like, I'm sorry, if I'm in a room, you're gonna know I'm in a room when I speak. Because if I decide to speak, it's something I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
Guess what I'm passionate about? Education. Why are we doing this whole thing? To educate people. I volunteer at a college 2 to 4:30 every day, just because I want to make sure that one, I'm always in an educational environment at the elite level. College is the elite level of education.
Elite level.
Everything I do, I try to do at the elite level. When I got released from the Orioles, I had to go and get that elite level of education again. Guess what I had to do? Indulge. I had to indulge in my environment to what I was used to. Now I had to restructure and remanage. And that's what people have to realize. If you're not always working on yourself, you're gonna struggle. You said it too. Like to you, complacency means it's not being lazy, but it's your mind keeping you stuck in one place, right? To me, complacency and being insane are the same two things, right? Notice I said crazy, not insane. But you walk a fine line between being super successful and being insane. Insane is just when you won't change. It could be one little thing, bro. It could be like you add 30 more minutes. You wake up 30 minutes earlier, and that makes you a little bit more successful in a day. And people keep trying to wake up. So if I wanted to wake up at 7:15 and every single day I'm having a bad day, why not try to wake up at 6:45 to see if you give yourself a little bit more time for things to fall in line? Timing is everything. Get educated on timing. We're not asking for big gains. First, start off trying to wake up at 7. Give yourself that extra 15 minutes. You know what I learned? You know what sport taught me the most about timing? Basketball. Coach Fredo at Fort Zone South used to make us run so much, but guess what? I never missed a goal on getting a down and back that we had. What was it? 10 seconds to get down and back on a whole basketball court. You want to know why? I realized how long 10 seconds was. I traveled 100 feet in 10 seconds. That's crazy. Think about that. You do the math on that. You do the velocity, how fast we're running. And most of the time I get done with 2 or 3 seconds left. And we're back up and ready. Once I learned the timing and how to get it done without overexerting and being efficient, we could get it down, bro. And it would correlate to a game. That's what people don't understand. People get mad at coaches for making you run. Well, the only time you're going to run is if you're doing something bad. So our teams, we ran a lot, but we ran a lot because Coach Fredo was up here, the most disciplined person I know. That's why he can coach 3 sports. That's why he's also an elite educator when it comes to personal finance.
You said that. You said that a long time ago. You basically said he was at an elite level of everything he does in that school. So I didn't see it. I just realized he is coaching 3 sports.
3 varsity sports, and is the head coach.
And still teaching personal finance.
Yes. Someone needs to go write a book on Coach Fredo. It might be me.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? I might, like, as soon as they say that they allow visitors, I'm going right up to South and I'm shadowing Coach Fredo for at least an hour or 2 a day. If they allow it. I might have to reach out to Dr. Keltner. This is me reaching out. Let me come back to South.
I'm not looking for more either, Dr. Keltner. I look good today.
You said you're too ugly, bro. Bro, we like Miss James. I took every single class that Miss James had in high school, and she would always say, "You gotta fake it till you make it." You know, I got drafted, and I was like, "I'm still faking," and she goes, "No, you made it," and I didn't understand what she was saying. I was like, "No, I didn't make it yet. I'm trying to get to the show. I didn't make it yet." I had another coach when I was in pro ball. I was like, "Man, you just don't get it. You don't realize how close you are." And I didn't realize what he meant until, like, honestly, bro, until I started running my own business. I didn't realize what he was saying. He's like, "Bro, you're building your resume. Relax." That's what I'm saying. When you stop caring about the goals and you worry more about the process, the goals fall in line.
Man, like I said back then, you got that notebook. You have that notebook. You write in your note. You write your goals in your notebook when it first starts. You write your notes in your notebook. Then you watching those goals every day. Like when I said earlier in the podcast series, I said I was mad at myself. I was frustrated at myself. So I went back to my notebook. When you write it down, you know what I'm saying? I went back to my notebook and I found myself crossing off these goals.
You have to. What I said earlier, I'm chasing checks. You might cross out. I chase checks.
You know what I mean?
I chase checks, and you have to. But the thing that I used to like, bro. One thing that I had to learn is I didn't respect my own work. Guess what? I still respect my work now, so I understand taking some time for yourself. But I would look at, like, when they say perspective is everything. Is it perspective or perception? Well, my perception of everything, I'll just explain my piece. My perception of everything was I was not doing what was being out there. So I had a enlightened moment about a couple weeks ago, because I've been grinding so hard on how to hack Facebook, right? Like, mentally hacking the marketing system, bro. I'm trying to understand marketing. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I don't know what to do with this. I don't think I know what I'm doing. And then I really sit down, I had a lesson text me, bro, and said, hey, you were on TV? And this whole time I've been trying to build my own TV network. I said, whoa. I created my own channel. You get what I'm saying? So, like, that put me in such an intense happiness. A euphoria of happiness, bro. Crazy. Intense.
Look at that. It's crazy how energy moves. It's crazy how you can create around you in your environment and your surroundings, and they can almost see the dream, bro, with you.
Read The Alchemist.
Okay.
The Alchemist. It will change your life, and it says it plain as day what the world is trying to do for you. If I had to tell people right now what to put in schools, it would be The Alchemist. That book needs to be read by every single person in every single school in America. Every single school. Because you will walk around knowing that someone is looking for you to help you. I used to walk around with a chip on my shoulder. You have to do that as an athlete, because you get told no a lot. You look for no as a motivational word, bro. Tell me I can't do something, right? But what I will say is that does not defy the laws of humanity, right? That's for sport and sport only. The word no as a motivator. Outside of that, no, bro. No means no. You get what I'm saying? And that's being educated on that. You have to, like, one of my favorite commercials is that Kobe Bryant and Kanye West commercial from when we were younger. And he goes, can you be the same animal but two different beasts, or different beasts? And Kanye's like, what the does that mean, Kobe Bryant? But bro, like, when I was sitting there, I was like, that always made sense to me. No, bro. He's saying, can you be the same person but to be two different beasts? You know, like, for me, I had to be a beast on a field, but then I had to be a beast in a classroom. Now I have to be a beast as a coach and a beast as an owner. Right? You're always going to have a dynamic. Sometimes you got parents, you got to be a beast of a parent, and then you got to be a beast at your job. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to be the same animal, but the same animal, right, is you. You have to do what you like to do. You have to get your time back. You have to manifest your own destiny, right? You have to do that. That's why education is crazy. Education will save the nation. Communication will save the nation. If you educate, you will learn how to communicate.
What do you tell those people that are looking to become their own beast? Become two different beasts?
Do you, bro? Because I was getting too far off track, but not my morals. What I started investing in brought me back to reality. I was almost walking around like a psychosis, bro, for a while. Like, and when I say like a psychosis is what I was saying earlier. I was not walking around respecting what I was doing. Now I'm okay with, like, sometimes I have to realize, no, stand firm in what you're doing, because people will sit here and they don't understand what you're doing, and they will just dog it because they're ignorant. They're ignorant to what you're doing, and not in a bad way. They are literally just ignorant. They literally don't know what you're doing, and they will try to tell you what you're doing, and you're gonna be like, no, bro, this is what I'm doing. But no, this is what I'm doing. Go find it here. Go do this. Save your work. Education tells you that. Math, show your work. Right? English, revise your work. Science, understand your work. This is how it works. You get what I'm saying? All education shows you how all aspects of your life works. But people don't demean that because they don't pay attention to it. Because they think it's boring. They don't understand how to apply it. So I'm going to change the grading system for you. Right? When you're talking to your kids. Right? You have A for applying. It's application. That's how you get an A. You get a book, you read the book, you apply the book. You get your notes, you take your notes, you apply the notes. That's how you get an A. B is for B, you're basically there, right? You're just not applying enough, right? C is you're certified. You're a certified learner. You're at least learning something. D is for dumb. Just straight up dumb. F is for you freaking failed. You can substitute whatever word you want to put there, right? I'm keeping it clean for the younger viewers.
So why is that? Why is certified and dumb so close, yet in terms sound so far apart? You know what I mean?
Because dumb does not mean that you're not intelligent. So let's talk about that real quick. There's a lot of super intelligent people that just don't apply, right? Because they don't understand structure, right? And they're not getting the people teaching them, right? I have a lot of friends that didn't have good grades but are super intelligent. That doesn't mean they're dumb. They're great. Your grades do not show if you're smart or dumb. Your grades show if you know how to apply or not. So what I would tell you in a school system, right? If you're a higher up in a school system, it would be learn how people learn. As a coach, I've had very few athletes that have not been able to learn under my structure, because I had master teachers. So when I started understanding that, like, I'll give a little bit of my background. I finished my associates. I think about getting my bachelor's all the time, but then I started reading into what it takes to do a bachelor's degree, and I'm already doing it. Right? But what I will tell kids are, if you have a goal in mind of what you want to do, this is how you need to go do it. Right? So if you want to go be a doctor, you have to have a doctor's degree. You can't go be an independent doctor.
Exactly.
Right? If you don't like school, you better find something that you're good at, get educated on it, so you can do it independently. Right? And if you don't know how to do it independently, go to a program that can institutionalize you in a good way, right? And put you,
enhance your informal learning into a formal institution type of style.
Yes, that's what, like, and the other thing, know what words mean. Institutionalize just means to institute. I institutionalize my own brain with education. I set up a certain structure my own way with education. Right? You gotta when people hear the word institutionalize or oppress, there is oppressive systems out here. You don't know what the word means. Oppressive means. You know, like, and like when I say that, there's oppressive things all over America, because people are trying to figure it out, but they need people to come in and teach them how to figure it out. You know, are there some bad people out here? Yeah, there are, but there's way more good people. You can't worry about the idiots.
Worry about the idiots is gonna slow you down. You're distracted.
Yeah, you're gonna lose your way, man. You know, and the thing is, like, here's the thing about me. The older that I get, the more real I become, because I realize that the world needs people like that. And my energy is crazy. I'm going to tell you the truth. Here it is. If you don't like it, here you go. If you think I'm lying, see it on the way. Drake has one of my favorite album titles. If you're reading it, it's too late. Because by the time I get this information out, I've already advanced months and months and years ahead of what I'm talking about.
They made that just a huge meme. They made that everywhere. If you're doing this, you're too late. You know that they made that.
It's true though.
A lifestyle. You know what I mean?
That's true though. It has to be, because like if you're reading something that I'm doing now, I probably thought about it 5-10 years ago.
Agreed. Couldn't agree more.
So I don't believe in overnight successes, because I do a lot of stuff overnight that doesn't come into fruition, but it comes 5-10 years later.
Right.
You know, and that's where people got to understand planning, action, right, and being educated on what you're doing. You know, like, it doesn't matter whatever I choose to do, I'm going to do it at an elite level, because I'm going to get educated on how to do it. And if I don't, I'll have a guy that's educated on how to do it. Because I'm not going to walk around dumb. So you asked me what the difference between certified and dumb is. I'm going to give it to you. Certified means you go to class and you're attentive. If you go to class, your brain is good enough to receive 70% of the information taken in. If you just go to class and listen, right? D means you go to class, you got your headphones in, you're not taking notes, right? But you read a little bit, right? So you're only getting 60% of the information, because you're taking away 10% of your attentiveness.
So you're ignorant to the certification.
Yes.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So an F, right? The only time I've ever gotten an F in my life was I was traveling and I was still in school, and the Wi-Fi went out, and I emailed the professor. I didn't get a response, and they failed me. And I never got a response, and I called the school. I said, I'm done. I said, I'm done donating to your school. Right? And I said, I'm done with this. I said, we're good. And I was done with school after that. Now, if someone wants to tell me, no, you can't do this because you don't have a degree, guess who's going back to school? Because you just made it competitive. Don't poke the bear.
That's how it's gotta be. Like if you were in high school right now, and you're debating on college and stuff, and you're an athlete. Let's say you're an athlete. Take that as confidence. If you even be confident with yourself, you say, nah, school ain't for me. Prove it. Prove why it is for you. You know what I'm saying? Be in that competition.
Yeah, like I get told all the time, oh, you don't have to go back to school. I know I don't have to go back. I want to go back. I don't have to do anything that I don't want to do.
That's the difference right there.
Yes, I don't have to do anything that I don't want to do. I go, like I just said, I go to school every day. But if you come and say I need a piece of paper to get this job, I'll go to school and I'll get that job. If that's what I want to do. If there's a job I want to do, right, I will not. I don't care how long it takes. If you tell me I have to wait a year and a half and go to school a year and a half, everything else has to balk. That means I have to cut down on lesson hours or whatever, right? But that's sacrificing. I love doing what I do right now. But if there's something else that comes in that I really want to do and be able to share that love on a bigger platform, I'm just gonna have to sacrifice. Because it sometimes you got to take the little losses because you know the bigger picture. Yeah. And people don't understand that. They think you have that. You can have your cake and eat it too, bro. You're always gonna sacrifice. You're always gonna sacrifice something. Right now, I sacrifice a love life personally because I'm trying to get to the bag. So when I get the love life, my girl can be a queen. Right? I'm trying to shower and gifts and all that. And when my kid comes to this world, I want them coming in as owners. I want them being entitled. Right? And people are like, oh, we don't want entitled little brats. If you're not working for your kid to be an entitled little brat, you're not doing it right. Because there's certain things that you have to do to learn entitlement. Go learn about the kings and queens of the world. They're teaching you that. Now, what I will say is, I don't believe in greed. I believe in stability. Right? I believe in kindness. I believe in sharing. I share information for free all the time. I will drop a lot of free music. I will give a lot of my time for free. and it's okay because it's about the bigger picture. My purpose is to be here and help people, right? And you got to understand that. Guess what? That's why I don't worry about going. If I have to go across the country or out of the country to another country, one, I'm going to get educated on where I'm going, right? But I'm going to go somewhere on who wants my education, and then I'm going to go learn about that city. You get what I'm saying? You got to learn how to be protected out of the city. That's why I like learning how to speak different languages. You know, because I want to know what's being said to me, and I want to know what's being asked for. A lot of time people get caught up because it's a miscommunication. They don't understand the environment that they're in. Right? So when you go through and you have to understand, yo, bro, when I leave the US, I'm not in Kansas anymore, homie. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Britain. I'm in
Indonesia.
And I'm in China. I'm gonna move. When in Rome, do what the Romans do. Pay attention. They tell you how to survive out here. And if you weren't getting the information now, you got it. If you don't know, now you know. Move the right way. Educate yourself. Stay on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's you gotta understand. People are people, right? Don't violate the humanic code.
Oh man,
that's the biggest educational piece. If I go to the hood of America, I'm gonna go find out what's up. If I go to the richest part of America, I'm gonna go see what's up, and I'm not gonna violate those laws there. You gotta know how people move. That's how you're good wherever you go. You get what I'm saying? Like, you gotta. I'm a bridge to America. I grew up. There's two sides to America. I grew up being the third side. I was in the middle. I was a black kid that grew up in a very suburban place. I had prejudiced people say stuff to me, but I don't think every single person's like that. That's not chocolate like me.
I call it bilingual in a sense.
Oh yeah, I speak both. I speak 3 languages: Ebonics, English, and Spanish. Talk to me. You know, and I'm still learning in Spanish. I know enough to get by on Spanish, right? Guess what? If we come up and I don't know what it's saying, sometimes you gotta catch me in a mode. If haven't been working on it, it gets sloppy, right? You gotta practice stuff every day. But
just down here in Dallas, just down here in Texas, man, you have to be on your P's.
Yeah, and don't be a jerk when people are like the number one thing that I used to hate hearing when I was like a young, you're in America, speak English. No, bro, learn what they're trying to say. Maybe they just moved here. I have a little guy.
One thing that you did have on me, that you did like had me feeling some type of way, because you would always speak in Spanish, but you would jokingly do it, but deep down I'm sitting there like, man, like that's dope. Like that's dope. Like
rico. Yeah, you better. You know what I'm saying, bro? I guess what?
You did try to tell me you were Puerto Rican for a second, but you know.
Bro, I'm a person of the world. I'm whatever I need to be. I'm gonna try to be. You know, like one big thing is I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan. Oh, check the hat. You know what I'm saying? So when you're going through, I want to go over there and I want to go see the Asian culture. What inspired them to make Dragon Ball Z? You know, it's so peaceful, but it's in competition. It's about martial arts. You know, I've always boxing. Like I will tell people that all the time. Like I said earlier, I grew up ready to fight because that was what happened when you got challenged in the TV show when I was younger. If you don't think these video games are influencing kids, you're tripping. But teaching them and educating them on the humanic code, right, is how they survive. You don't violate this law, right? Gun safety is a big thing. Guess what? I'll tell you. I live in O'Fallon, Missouri. I can pretty much go anywhere I want and go find a gun range. You don't have those in St. Louis City. There's no gun education down there. So why do you think the crime rates are up? The education's not there. You get what I'm saying? Look, I'm telling you this right now. I don't have any interest in this. So this is free knowledge, free business plan. Get you some bread, go on a corner down there, and buy a liquor store. Instead of having a liquor store there, right, put a gun range there. Right? And have classes before you can even go into the gun range. Free classes that educate people about gun laws. Bet you the crime rates go down.
That's simple.
I bet you, because people don't understand laws, bro, and they know them in their survival mode because of their influences down there. What is there to do down there? There should be a music studio on every single corner. There should be a gun safety course on every single corner on every inner city. If you got problems there, that's how you rehab the city. I'm trying to make everyone a bag in America, bro. Everybody. If you have a little bread, get you a hustle. First, get you a car, then you DoorDash, then you start investing. I did it. I was sitting there trapping out of my car, DoorDashing. Postmates, whatever I had to do. Guess what? I was in Florida. We got a call. I was working on trying to get signed back for baseball. I was living in this house, a 2-bedroom apartment with like 8 people in the house. And I was out there door dashing, going to business meetings, going to Kohl's, using my Kohl's card to get suits so I can go to this business meeting, bro, to try to learn how to be a business owner. I was trying to get educated, and guess what? It worked. Because I set it up one way. I did what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people don't understand. How are you gonna tell someone that doesn't have this education stealing is wrong when they don't have it, and they have to go home and they have to look at their kid in their face and say, hey, we don't got food today. I didn't grow up like that, but I have some family members that did. My parents sacrificed. Guess what? I didn't have everything. Right? I didn't have everything I ever wanted. No one ever will. No one ever will have that. But at the end of the day, bro, when you're going through and you're starting to understand this is how I gotta move to survive, it becomes a culture. Change the culture in a city and you'll get better results. I don't think the government wants crime. But I think crime's gonna happen because people won't get educated. You see what I'm saying? I hope that this video changes the world at some point. You know what? And guess what? We're probably 30 minutes in. You're gonna have to watch the whole video because there's gems in here.
Gems. You better check this out. This
is the most powerful one. Education. That's what the Bible taught me. You know what I'm saying? Guess what else? The Islamic religion, their book teaches them the same thing. There's extremists and there's terrorists on both ends. We have them in America. You feel what I'm saying? After 9/11, everyone thought that Middle Eastern people were bad because that's all we saw on TV. Your influences. They're not bad, bro. I grew up with a dude in high school that I sat there and I started asking questions and he would tell me about his religion. He would tell me about Ramadan. He would tell me all this stuff. And it was the most dope thing I ever experienced. We had another friend that was a Jehovah's Witness, and I remember when I was 9, I'm like, the code is to stand up, and I'm like, bro, you gotta stand up. I didn't want him to get in trouble. I said, bro, you gotta stand up. You gotta stand up. I'm sorry, I'm getting excited. I said, bro, you gotta stand up. He's like, no, bro, whatever. I didn't get mad because he didn't stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. Because he believed a certain way. I believed in him. I started asking questions. That's what being an American is. We're a melting pot. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Guess what? I love knowing where my ancestors are from. That's what I'm looking at. At the end of the day, I'm American, bro. At the end of the day, you want to know what? The first person that died in America in the Revolution, or one of the first people, was a black guy. Crispus Attucks. That right there told me, and he was a free black dude. That told me there was a different side of America that I gotta look at. But guess what? There's a lot of hate in America that people choose to go look at. No, I want to look at how they were successful, and I want to educate on how to protect against the hate. Guess what protects you a lot against hate now? Technology. Have it everywhere. Have all eyes on you at all times.
All times, baby. All times.
Talk. All eyes on me. Yes, right? But you got to move the right way. You got to educate people. Your job is to be here and to educate. Right? I listened to every single teacher that I had. I have old history books here at the crib that I still read. Then I forgot to turn it in. I'm sorry, Zumwalt. Get at me later. We'll talk.
You can have my book. You can have it.
I'll give it back. But I wasn't done reading it yet. I was just borrowing it.
You can call next week. Hey, we're looking at.
Hey, it's okay. I can give it back, or you know what? We might just have to find out what we can do. I might have to come give a couple speeches to the schools. I would like that a lot.
You could go.
I'll do my community service.
There you go.
Everybody should do their community service. Look, the biggest thing that I want people to take from this video is this. If you say educated, that everybody you will never agree with everybody, and that everyone has their own dreams and ambitions, and you just rock with the people that have the same as yours, you'll live a very happy life. Right? If you start worrying about the people outside of that and disrespecting the people outside of that, you're going to live a very short life. I like longevity. I teach wealth. Wealth is health. Get your time back. Educate yourself. Know what you want to do. Right? And make your dreams happen. I'm a visionary, bro. Right? I'm very radical in the way that I think. Right? Because when you look at the word radical, you tell me what that means. Right? Against the norms. I'm very against the norm. I don't believe, that everyone's going to get along, but it's okay. Because if I don't get along with you, I don't have to rock with you, but I'm always going to respect you, homie. Always.
That's tough. That's dope right there.
We don't, I just want to be able to come to your city and educate your city, bro.
What you learn.
Yeah, from what I learned. We got different experiences. Bro, how can we make your city better? How can we get people to stop dying in your city over some dumb stuff? This is the way we need to move. But there's no one going down there in war zones. There's parts of St. Louis that was absolutely a war zone. And you better respect those parts, but you also better learn how to help those parts. You know what I'm saying?
Couldn't agree more myself.
You cannot forget where you came from. I came from a war zone, bro. I had a bullet come through my window at 4. Right? But I also had a gun pulled on me on O'Fallon, Missouri when I was 19. So guess what? Violence is everywhere. You're not safe. But guess when I started being a little bit more safe? When I started getting educated and I stopped violating people's laws of themselves. I can always say, what's up? I respect that. Oh, I don't like that. I'm just gonna have to move another way. And stop getting offended when people move the other way. Just let them go. Because if you keep trying to force your issue on people, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, and then you're gonna burn a bridge. You're gonna lose a supporter. Guess what? I've burned a couple bridges. There's some stuff that people said that they just can't take back. That's why you have to be mindful of what you're saying. Guess what? There was a couple bridges I burned and I didn't care. And guess what? They can come back and they can come back and burn you. So now I just say, look, it's okay that we disagree and we're just not going to do this deal. And that's okay too. I'm not taking money out of your pocket. It's not about the dollar. You know what I'm saying? You can go have your idea. Justin, I talk to you all the time. You have a ton of $1 million ideas. I have a ton. Guess what? I talk to a 4-year-old. They tell me their ideas. They got them too. My niece has them at 14. Now it's just getting the education to make the plan. That's what America has to realize. No one's trying to take money from anyone. All of us are trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to survive, right? We're all trying to get to the top. You get what I'm saying?
Whatever that may be, yeah.
But the top is relative to where you're at. You're never. Look, what I had to come to grips with. I used to want to walk around and I wanted to be the LeBron of baseball. Right? I should have been trying to be the Gerrion Grim of baseball. And I will be. Just in my own different light. You know what I'm saying? Like that coach told me, I wish you knew how close you were. I'm close. Now it's just time for me to get my story out, get my message out. This is my message and story. Get educated, be mindful of people, love people, right? And the fruits of your labor of working on that every single day will be untouched. You have untouched standards.
Yeah.
There's a million or a billion of me walking around. There's 7 billion me's walking around the world. We all look alike, right? We just got different tones, just like singing. We all have different. Like the one thing I started knowing, I used to walk around and say, I hate country music. I don't like it. Then I started listening to country music. You know why? Because I was told country music was trash. Not by my parents. My parents liked all different genres. I was told that it was just by nature you couldn't like rap and country. Because anytime that people that like country music would play, or the people that would play rap music, the people that like country music would be like, oh, this music's trash. I'd be like, country's trash, bro. I get defensive because hip-hop was my love. It is my love, still. Right? But that's my genre of music. I like the bars. I like hearing the poetry.
I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Especially my dad will listen to anything from Kenny Rogers to Jeezy and Tupac.
Yep.
So, or Chicago band. We on trips, we would listen to the Chicago band.
Earth, Wind and Fire I grew up listening to. Pebbles, Ready for the World. TLC. Bro, I'm going back to the 1960s, the staples. Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder are two of the most influential people in my life. The movie Ray is one of my favorite movies. Jamie Foxx murdered that movie. I'm happy he didn't do what it did at Heath Ledger, because I have so much respect for actors because they become that person. They do their duties, they get educated, they spend all the time working on roles for years, and they become that person. That killed Heath Ledger, bro. He became the Joker.
Check it out. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have so much respect for people. You know, like that's why I do enjoy that I grew up in. When they talk about being diverse, I think I'm one of the most diverse people I've ever met in my life. And I had bad habits that could have very well cut some years off my life. You know, like I used to be addicted to chewing tobacco, and I did that out of bored habit. No one influenced me to do that. I did it because I wanted to, and I enjoyed it. And then I put it in my mind that I wanted to quit because I started getting educated on financing. And I was like, well, it's dumb for me to spend this amount of money, right? I just want to save that money, and I put it in my head, and I threw it away. And I don't have any intentions of going back, right? You know, alcohol is another thing I cut down tremendously, just because I was like, it doesn't feel good for me. I don't want to ruin my livers or do anything like that. But guess what? I'm not going to knock a 21-year-old or a 22-year-old. I'm just going to be like, bro, you're going to grow out of it. Just grow out of it before it destroys you. It's not everything's in the bottle. You know, education, that's what they mean by education will save a nation, right? When you get educated on what alcohol does to your body, especially in mass contents, it's good in moderation. You get what I'm saying? Chewing tobacco, I did what I did because I enjoyed it. People smoke. I don't look at you. I don't think you're disgusting. I just understand that you're going through something. Like that's what, the number one thing I gotta start saying is stop shaming people. Like just understand. Maybe they don't have the education on. Hey, you have bills and you started stressing out, and so you started smoking or you started chewing tobacco because you needed a stimulant. Just get educated on what you're doing.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, it's not about that. It's about the person saying, "Hey, this is what I want for myself. These are the goals that I got." Some people just enjoy doing it and leave them alone. It's their life. You know, but the number one thing that I love, dare. Dare educates you, but at the end of the day, you make your decisions. That's the thing people fail to realize too. You're not stupid. People just make decisions, good or bad. And then you got to be educated and know what your decisions are. If you commit a crime, jail is the consequence. Education, jail, education. Some people aren't getting that. They don't know what laws are. They don't understand what an attorney is. There are parts in America that are third world countries. My aunt's been telling me that forever.
It's crazy, man. I like that. I like that a lot. And unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, them gyms gonna come.
Yeah, we don't have to chop this up. We don't have to break this up because there's too many gyms in this. But we gotta go. You know, we gotta go.
Get our time back.
You gotta go get your time back. I got a hoop session.
There you go. I gotta go get my workout in, man.
I got a hoop session. I'm getting back into practicing being an athlete. You don't stop being an athlete. That's all I know.
You don't. That's a great thing about it.
Yep. So you guys stay up, get your time back. I hope you guys got some gems out of here. You're gonna have to watch this video over and over. Subscribe, hit that share button, put it on all your social media sites. Help your friends, help yourself. Let's get it.
We are also on every social media site at Investments. Thank you for taking the time to invest in yourself, and we'll see you next time